Welcome to Lone Hoot Media's first full-length audio film, Fetid Souls. Enjoy! You've been playing video games too long, young man. So, your grandpappy is coming over to read you a nice bedtime story.
Mom, setting up Wi-Fi is hardly a video game. I'm 23, he hasn't read to me since I was 10, and I really should go back to my own house. I'm sure Susan and the kids are expecting me back for dinner any minute now.
Well, you should have thought about that before I phoned him an hour ago without telling you and invited him here to read to you.
Hey, how are you, kid? I got a real doozy for you tonight. A real snorter, a real humdinger, a real fish out of water story, a real whale of a tale, a crazy non-stop thundering thrill ride full of whimsy and wonder, intrigue, and belly laughs by the bushel. You'll love it, you stupid son of a bitch.
Hi, Granddad. Look, I really need to go home. Susan made pork belly, so, rain check on that story.
It's a quickie. I'll call Susan and smooth things over. Or we can hop in Grandpa's wood panel rocket and I'll read it to your whole family. Tongo, Juju, your half-sister Mungbean, Peanut, Uncle Flester, Dip, Dot, Mailman Joe, Susan, the whole family. We can make an overnight of it, and in the morning I'll cook everyone Grandpa's patented Pop-Tart pancakes. His sprinkles.
No. I'll stay. Go ahead and read it.
I'll call Suze and let her know you'll be about an hour, hon.
Thanks a lot, Marms. All right, now, let's see here. Fetid Souls by Shara, Sykes, and DJH. Chapter 1. In a run-down part of the inner city, outside of a battered women's shelter, a mother and daughter sit alone waiting for the bus. Although Tanya is only 27 years of age, due to heavy methamphetamine use, she passes for a woman in her late 40s. She is extremely emaciated, and her unwashed brunette hair is tied up above her outdated attire, which consists of an old purple silk skirt, a frilly white blouse, and a pair of jelly sandals. Her frail and equally dirty 7-year-old daughter Siren is swimming in her 3 sizes too big second-hand clothing. Her beautiful blue eyes hide behind her long, scraggly blonde hair as the bus arrives precisely at 7 a.m. They board and take a seat near the front of the half-filled bus. After a few minutes of riding and struggling to stay awake, Siren nods off. Then her eyes pop open, and she jerks her head up. Outside the window, the sky is now pitch black. Siren cocks her head to look at the bus driver. He is acting normal and continues to drive along the street. The bus lights flicker rapidly. She leans over the seat and looks down the aisle towards the back of the bus. Now there are no other passengers on board. Then, in the middle of the walkway, she sees a solid white kitten. The kitten notices her and meows, then walks towards the back of the bus. Siren gets up and follows it.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty. I'm not gonna hurt you.
The cat quickens its step away from Siren, so she picks up her pace to catch up to it. Before long, they're both running at full speed. After a long while, Siren stops to catch her breath. She turns around and now Tanya's an impossible 50 yards away, still seated at the front of the bus. Siren looks back towards the cat and it's disappeared.
Kitty, where'd you go?
From the back of the bus, in the distance, she sees the solid black form of a creature, a man-spider hybrid, speedily crawling down the aisle towards her on its stomach, shuffling with its hands and knees. In fear, Siren freezes and closes her eyes.
It's just a dream.
She opens her eyes and he's still moving towards her. He begins laughing in a high-pitched giggle and then meowing realistically like a kitten.
It's not real. You're just a dream.
Siren rapidly opens and shuts her eyes in an attempt to wake up. But every time she does, she sees the creepy figure hasn't actually moved at all. Instead, it remains in the same place at the back of the bus, yet still appears to be crawling menacingly towards her, while also getting exponentially larger with each movement, eventually filling the back of the bus. Tanya shakes Siren awake.
Sigh, wake up, sleepyhead. We're here.
Siren wakes. It's early morning again, and the creature has disappeared. Strung out, Tanya pulls a crinkled handkerchief from her pocket. Inside are various pills. She picks up a small blue one, a clearly labeled erectile dysfunction pill.
Time to take this again for your nightmares. Chew it up good. You can't sleep with a boner.
I'm thirsty, Mom.
We'll grab some generic orange at Bobby's.
Tanya pulls the cord and the bus driver lets them off. The streets are desolate outside of Bobby's Joe's Stuffs. A few vagrants wander around aimlessly, amidst trash tumbling in the wind. Tanya waits for Siren to open the door for her. Once inside, Tanya quickly grabs a 2-liter of orange soda. Before getting into the checkout line directly behind Pearl Artemis Goodman, a thick and unusually tall woman in a short and curly gray-haired wig. Tanya can't help but stare at the woman's heavily overdone makeup. But Pearl doesn't seem to notice Tanya. She stares past her at Siren and does a little wave of her hand in greeting. Stu, the clerk, refocuses Pearl by handing her the receipt in a plastic grocery bag. She peers inside it for a moment, pondering its contents. Then, satisfied, heads out of the store.
What's your cheapest pack of menthols?
Stu is an apathetic, gum-chomping high schooler. He turns and shrugs at Tanya before extending his arm towards the smokes.
Right here, miss. This is all we have.
Siren wanders a little to the left of her mother and is eyeing the bags of chips and various candy bars when 2 women enter the lane. They are both clothed in matching red and black BDSM leather outfits that are detailed with plume feathering. Sugar Plum is of average height, somewhat stocky and wearing jockey gear. Nellie is extremely tall and thin. She's on her hands and knees with a saddle on her back and a bitten bridle in her mouth. Sugar Plum reaches for a candy bar.
Nellie, would you like a candy bar?
Nellie happily whinnies and stomps her right hand on the floor. Sugar Plum notices Siren pathetically looking at the candy.
Little girl, You can pick out a candy bar too. The horse will buy it for you, won't you, horse?
Nellie, visibly not wanting to purchase the girl candy, goes crazy and becomes a bucking bronco, kicking and snorting. Sugar Plum hangs on and begins whipping her.
I gotta break this BN.
Siren smiles brightly and chooses a chocolate bar. Hearing the commotion behind her, Tanya looks over at Siren as she sets the candy bar onto the conveyor belt.
Who's gonna pay for that?
Well, she said her horse.
My horse offered to buy it for her, ma'am.
Thanks, but no thanks. We can pay for our own shit. We're not a charity case. We don't need handouts from any self-righteous bitches.
Sugar Plum covers Nellie's ears and scowls because of the profanity. Siren looks sad as Tanya grabs the candy bar and slings it at Nellie's face. Nellie bucks and rushes forward at Tanya. Sugar Plum pulls back on the reins, keeping Nellie from possibly doing her harm.
Whoa, Nellie. Whoa, girl. It's okay. Who's been a good horse? Who's been a good horse? Who's been a good horse? Yeah, who's been a good horse?
Tanya notices the time and grabs Siren by the wrist, yanking her towards the exit.
Hurry, Si. Bus is leaving.
Thank you for shopping at Bobby's Joe Stuffs. Please, call again.
They see the city bus in the distance picking up its last rider and shutting the door. They run through the rain and alongside the bus as it's pulling away. Tanya pounds on the door.
Hey, dumbass! Don't you see us running here?
The bus stops. The driver, a short, balding, pudgy man with a 5 o'clock shadow, reluctantly opens the door. Tanya gives him the stink eye before paying the fare and taking a seat on the front row. After a second of surveying the bus passengers, Tanya notices a group of junkies in the back who she's familiar with. Without a word, she leaves Siren alone on the seat and joins them. They obnoxiously chat and joke around. After a few rounds of pass the joint, the junkies pull the cord and Tanya walks over to Siren, who is, once again, struggling to stay awake.
Si, I'll take you to the park another time. Instead, I'm gonna go with Rod and his friends to do some work. Stay awake and make sure you get off at the shelter this time. Can't have you getting lost again. Officer said it better not happen anymore. I can't have no more run-ins with the law, so you better make sure you pay attention.
Disappointed, Siren just drowsily nods and looks down at the floor. Kevin is a mean-faced teenager with jet black hair and an emo haircut.
Hey, you're my best friend, du Shara.
Rod is a shirtless, heavily tattooed and pierced man.
Shut your whoring mouth.
They laugh together and he grabs Tanya on the ass as they deboard the bus. Siren sits up straight and stares out the window, watching her mother leave with them. The bus pulls away from the curb and continues en route. The driver turns and looks at Siren.
Sweetie, I'll make sure you get to the shelter okay. Don't worry.
The bus stops at a red light and Pearl, the older woman from the store, with the short curly gray-haired wig and overly done makeup, switches seats to sit next to Siren.
Well, hello again there, dearie. Where's your jacket? It's kind of cold out there tonight.
I ain't got one.
Oh, that's too bad.
Siren doesn't respond and busies herself with pulling a string on her dress. Pearl pulls the cord.
Well, take care, Siren. Have a good night, Sam. Say hello, Darlene, for me.
She exits and the bus driver looks perplexed, as though he can't recall the woman. It's now dusk at the battered women's shelter. Inside the dining hall are rows of tables and folding chairs on beige tiling. Bright fluorescent lights are spaced throughout the ceiling, and there are a few cots and a couple of couches along the far wall. Women chat and eat dinner. Siren sits alone off to the side on a cot, not eating, waiting for her mom to show. A group of volunteer servers walk the floor, offering to refill soup bowls and carry away empty trays. Pearl is among them, offering to refill water cups. She's wearing flats and a cornflower blue house dress, complete with white apron. She serves the last group of women, and then hiding her arms behind her back, approaches Siren.
There you are. I brought you something. Hope you like it.
Surprised to see her again, and getting a better look at her under the fluorescent lights, Siren stares at her startling green eyes, then her Roman nose, followed by her razor-thin lips and square jawline. Siren scoots back on her cot, subconsciously creating some distance between them, as Pearl reveals her brand new lemon yellow jacket in Siren's size.
A beautiful new jacket coat for a beautiful girl child named Siren.
Siren's eyes widen. She moves closer and feels the fabric with her hand.
For me. Thank you.
Try her on now, don't be shy.
Pearl holds the jacket open so Siren can slip her arms inside.
It fits. It's just my size.
Darn right. Now this will keep you warm.
Siren does a happy twirl and then breaks into a coughing fit.
Oh, honey, you don't look too good.
Pearl places the back of her hand to Siren's forehead.
You're a smoked salmon. I'm afraid you have a fever, by golly. We gotta do something about that since your mom's not back yet. Why don't we go to the pharmacy and get you some cough syrup?
Siren backs up again.
Mama said never to leave with strangers.
Well, I'm no stranger, dearie. I work here at the shelter, and if you don't get medicine right away, that cough is gonna take hold of you like a tongue-clenched hot potato, and it might just never let go.
Siren follows Pearl to her car, a royal blue 1967 Ford Falcon.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh, goodness gracious. Ow. Ow. Why they gotta fall all the way to the ground? Oh, goodness. Can't just hit the hip or the tummy and stay right there, can't they? Can I go all the way to the ground?
Neither speaks during the short trip to the 24-hour supercenter Bargain Way. Pearl parks near the entrance.
I'll be back in a jiffy lube.
She leaves Siren alone in the car for a few minutes and then returns with a large paper bag full of bottles and boxes.
Siren, you had no soup. Are you hungry now? How about we stop at the diner on the way back out and grab a bite to eat? How's that sound? Good. We're gonna do that, yeah.
At the Pancake Hut, Pearl and Siren sit in a booth near the plate glass windows. Lemon Drop, a blonde waitress, approaches with glasses of water. Her single ponytail shoots up from the center of the top of her head like a tree.
Well, howdy. Welcome to the Pancake Hut. Today on special, we got pig and a poke, 2 for $5. A pig and a poke is a pancake wrapped around some breakfast sausage, and the chef, he makes it fresh every morning. The pancake, not the sausage. Although, he's been known to bring his own.
Ooh, pig and pokes all around.
I'll make sure it's some fresh sausage, not from his home, okay? I'll do that specially for you.
Pig and pokes all around. Pig and pokes all around.
All right, I'll be right back.
The pancakes arrive in short order and they sit eating in silence. Siren periodically bursts into extreme fits of coughing. After they finish their meal, Pearl pulls out her bag of medicine and administers a heavy dose of cough syrup to Siren.
That's right, baby girl. Drink your medicine. That's right. Drink it up. It's gonna make you feel better.
Pearl pays the cashier and they leave the restaurant. As Pearl drives on the freeway, Siren passes out. Siren begins to stir on a bumpy dirt road. Pearl then takes a sharp turn to the left and travels up a long gravel driveway to an architecturally 1920s style 2-story house on about an acre of land. It has a muted mauve stucco exterior with dark brown wooden trim, a large balcony overlooking an equally large porch, and a fairly well-maintained front yard. Far off in the back, among a few dying orange trees and a small garden, is a medium-sized hunter green outbuilding. Siren yawns and sits up.
Where are we, Pearl?
Welcome to the goddamn residence. Home is where the heart is. Your mom said it was okay if you stayed with me until your fever broke and you were healed.
She did?
Absolutely, honey. Fresh country air is just for the faint of heart. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Pearl helps Siren out of the car into the front door, which opens into a long hallway. She leads her past a tiny bedroom on the right, a doorless entrance into a vast living room on the left, and stops her where the hallway abruptly ends in the dining area, in front of an enclosed staircase that leads to the second floor. Pearl waves her hand in a counterclockwise motion and points out the dining area's offshoot entrances to her own bedroom, a door to the laundry room, an attached kitchen, and a second doorless entrance into the living room.
Let me show you upstairs. You get your own room here. Isn't that special?
Siren smiles groggily as they make their way up the stairs to a small landing with a large window. Turning to the left are 3 more steps and a closed door in the wall. Siren stops and tries the doorknob, assuming this is her bedroom, but it's locked. Pearl chuckles and softly moves Siren past the door to continue along the L-shaped hallway.
That's a storage closet, huh? Just a little further.
They reach a full-sized antique mirror, and the hallway continues winding left. Pearl stops at the entrance to the final hallway that only goes right and has doors to a bathroom and several bedrooms. She points to a guest room at the very end of the hall and then leads Siren into it.
All right, this is your room.
It's shaped like a trapezoid due to the indentation of the ceiling from the shape of the roof, and has one large window across from a full bed, a nightstand, and a huge 1970s double-doored wardrobe on a 6-foot chest of drawers pedestal. Pearl pulls back the floral comforter and goes to tuck Siren in, then realizes she's not in pajamas.
Tomorrow, we'll go by Roy's Western Smoker and get you some new clothes. Clothes.
Pearl turns out the light and then stands in the darkened doorway, silhouetted by the moonlight.
Good night, sweet prince.
She closes the door behind her. Siren falls asleep. Time passes. Then a pine tree's branch bangs against the side of the house, and the wind howls fiercely through the partially opened window near Siren's bed, jolting her awake. Despite the noise, she tosses and turns in an attempt to go back to sleep, when she hears a little girl crying and moaning outside of her door. Frightened, she sits up and pulls the covers up to her chin.
Hello? Who's there?
Only the branch responds. She realizes it must have been the tree making the noises and gets out of bed to close the window. And then she hears what sounds like fingernails scratching on the door.
Please. Help me. Please.
Siren shrieks and backs up, staring at the door.
Hello? Who are you?
Please. Please help me. Help me.
What do you want?
Whatever is outside falls forward and bangs against the door with a loud thud.
Help me. Help me.
No! Go away! Please, go away!
Help me. The little girl's voice transitions from a child's to a deepened and angry man's voice. Siren leaps back into the bed and hides under the blankets. She places her hands over her ears and screams, shaking her head from side to side.
Go away! Go away!
While still shaking her head and stopping her ears, a burly hand reaches down and grabs her wrist, trying to pull her hands away from her ears.
Siren, 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 wake up. Siren, wake up.
Siren opens her eyes to see Pearl standing over her in the now lit room.
Siren, dear, it's just a bad dream. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Pearl's here now.
Siren sees that the window is shut. Relieved, she closes her eyes and snuggles up with the covers, now that Pearl is here. After a few moments, the branch bangs against the pane. She reopens her eyes to find the room pitch black and the window open again. What's more, Pearl is nowhere to be seen. She turns her bedside lamp on and opens the door.
Pearl?
She peers down the long, dark hallway and sees no one. More afraid to be alone, she walks down the moonlit hallway to the top of the stairwell and is momentarily spooked by her own reflection in the antiquated mirror. She continues down the L-shaped hallway and steps past the storage room door. Out of her peripheral vision, she sees something move. Curious, she turns to look at the door, where a random 3-inch hole has been drilled above the doorknob, and a giant eyeball is peeking out at her. Upon making eye contact with Siren, the stranger's eye quickly moves out of sight. Siren screams and runs down the staircase to the first floor. She finds herself in the small dining room at the end of the hallway, where a round oak table nearly fills the entire space. Across from the table on the right is a shut door, but she can see light shining underneath it, and this little light of mine is playing loudly inside. Siren timidly taps on the door and calls out for Pearl.
Pearl? Pearl!
She turns the knob, but it's locked. In the wall of the dining room is a door marked washroom, and Siren wastes no time opening it. On the right is a washer and dryer, followed by a single-person freestanding shower in the far right corner. On the left of her is a 3-foot-tall wooden railing that forms the shape of an L and protects from falling into the steep basement steps below. Across from that is a chest freezer. A narrow concrete pathway leads to the back door, and Siren sees that it is slightly ajar. She runs to the door and calls out for Pearl through the opening to the outside.
Pearl! Pearl!
She sees no one and the dark scares her. so she stays inside and closes the door behind her. Upon turning around, to the right she sees a small landing area that leads down jagged, unevenly cut cement steps to the basement's huge wooden door. Near the top of the door is a small black iron square with 6 iron bars within. There's also 3-inch holes drilled randomly throughout the door for ventilation. Through the left open washroom door, Siren sees that Pearl's bedroom is now open, so she runs to it. The music is playing several decibels lower, and Pearl is casually sitting on the side of her bed reading Twinkle Dogs, a smutty magazine. On a small chest of drawers is an opened and nearly emptied, industrial-sized canister of petroleum jelly. Seeing Siren, Pearl nonchalantly sets the magazine down on the bed.
Oh, hey there. What are you doing up so late and out of bed? A moment ago, I thought I might have heard a rap at my door, but wasn't certain.
Someone's in the closet.
Someone in the closet? In your bedroom?
No, upstairs, by the stairs.
Pearl humors her.
Oh, well, now we can't have that. Let's go check it out. No free rooms. Theirs is not an Airbnb.
Pearl follows Siren up the steps to the storage room door.
No free rooms. I got boarders.
Pearl pulls out a big key ring, finds a large skeleton key, puts it in, turns it to the left, and the storage room door unlocks. Before opening it, she looks at Siren and pantomimes with her forefinger by placing it to her lips, signaling for Siren not to make a sound. She smiles as she opens the door and pops her head in. Siren clings onto the side of Pearl's dress with both hands as she pulls the hanging light bulb within.
Anyone in here?
Pearl turns her head left and then right. It seems there are only boxes of papers, shoes, and plastic bags full of blankets.
Well, it looks like the coast is clear. Anything else you want to check out?
Siren shakes her head no. Pearl leads her back to her bedroom, tucks her in, and turns out the light. She's lit by the moon and begins shutting the door.
Good night, sweet prince. Good night, sweet prince.
Siren lies awake a long time, but without further incident, she finally gives in to slumber. The next morning, Pearl and Siren eat breakfast at the big oak table in the dining room.
You know, at Silver Coral, this buffet would cost us 10 doll hairs a piece. We're having the same quality and saving money at the same time. Same.
On Pearl's side of the table, she has an elaborate spread. A plate full of scrambled eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, hash browns, and toast. There are cups of coffee, orange juice, and milk on the side. Various condiments surround her many plates. Siren nods. Her side of the table is bare, except for a glass of lukewarm water and a small plate containing only a single runny egg.
A runny fried egg. Heaven on earth.
Siren eyes Pearl's smorgasbord with longing but says nothing.
Oh my goodness. Not quite like still half frozen sausage. Delicious. Not quite like a fresh parsnip in the morning. That's what my daddy always used to say. Now I will close my mouth to chew good crispy bacon.
Pearl spills coffee on the nice tablecloth.
Oh, boom, 6.
Pearl begins cleaning the spill.
Boom, 6. Outside of marriage, to feel power.
They sit a moment in silence.
Oh, you'll meet Melvin soon. He's a brony, though, and works odd hours, isn't around much, but we do enjoy him when he is. Let's go. I need to run a few errands in town. Gilbert at the hardware store is a nice man, so get your shoes on. I'll meet you outside.
It's a clear, sunny day, and Siren follows Pearl to her car.
Pearl, Silver, Coral, Buffett, come on in and get yourself a muffin. Gonna make you something pretty. Gonna make it good, nice and pretty. Oh, no, you know what I'm saying. Sorry, silver coral. Silver coral. Silver coral.
Pearl, don't leave yet. Hold on, honey.
A woman walks up the driveway, hollering and waving at them.
Yoo-hoo! Where are you two going? Hold on, don't leave yet, I'm coming.
It's Debbie, a short and fiery redhead with a pinched face.
Hey, everybody. Hello, friends. How are you doing?
She's bow-legged and always smoking a cigarette.
Who's the cute girlie you got over here?
Hey, Deb, Siren and I are about to head out to the hardware store.
Debbie sticks her hand out to Siren.
Hi, Siren. Nice to meet you. I'm Debbie, Pearl's neighbor.
Siren kind of smiles.
Well, good seeing you, Deb. Gotta go now. Time's of the essence.
Pearl quickly gets in and starts up the car. Pearl speeds off down the gravel driveway, leaving Siren and Debbie in a cloud of dust.
That was daggummed rude.
It aggravates Siren's cough and she has a fit.
Weren't you going with her?
A few seconds later, Pearl's car comes flying back up the driveway in reverse and slides to a halt, almost hitting Debbie and Siren.
Siren, get in. Siren, get in. Siren, get in.
Siren gets in and they peel out again. Debbie shrugs and flicks a cigarette butt onto Pearl's front lawn. She lights up another. Then walks the quarter-mile back to her house. Pearl and Siren are in the lamp aisle at the local hardware store. Her shopping cart has rat poison nails, potting soil, cucumber seeds, and a couple of cucumber sprouts. She's obsessively choosy trying to pick out a lamp, and mentally distraught about it. Siren's feet hurt. She's having a cold sweat and is tired of standing in the aisle. She points out a few random lamps for Pearl to consider, and then Pearl literally points out the minute flaws in each one that's being suggested.
That one isn't good enough for us.
Pearl points to a ridiculously small manufacturer's seam.
And look at that tiny crack at the base here. Awful. Just plumb awful.
Pearl points out a smudge on another.
I see that there? Wickedness.
Pearl yanks hard on a shade's tassel, ripping it off.
Poor quality for this one, probably made in China.
Pearl sighs hard looking at the fourth.
No, not that one either. I know that one isn't the right fit for us. Let's just go. They don't have any good lamps here.
An extremely handsome employee enters the aisle where Pearl and Siren are standing. It's Gilbert, a 25-year-old who moonlights as a male model, wearing a wife-beater undershirt, khaki pants, and black steel-toed boots. He's a little sweaty from stacking boxes of inventory. Pearl sees him walking up to them and gets really flustered and blushes a bright crimson.
What can I do for you, ma'am?
Oh, hi, Gil.
Gilbert smiles widely.
There's a sale on bulging, throbbing bulbs.
What did you say?
Light bulbs. We're running a BOGO sale today.
Pearl looks to Siren.
Time to go.
Inside the car, not looking well at all, Siren is pale, sweaty, and still running a high fever. Pearl is also sweaty and pale, having hot flashes because of Gilbert.
My goodness. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Did you see how Gilbert looked in his wife beater? I guess some nervous when he's around me. You think he has a crush on me?
Ew, you're too old for him.
Siren starts coughing. Pearl kind of gets offended.
Well, that's not a nice thing to say.
Pearl pulls the car into a big asphalt parking lot and points to a church that's out of view.
That's my structure. It's a replica of a cathedral of Notre Dame in Gay Paris. Thou liketh? Maybe I shouldn't keep talking about Gilbert anymore, since I am a deacon here after all. Mel and I were married at this church almost 40 years ago, and we'll be celebrating our ruby anniversary, and you're cordially invited to attend the festivities.
Siren continues coughing and hacking violently.
Melvin. Poor Melvin. Oh, pray for Melvin. He doesn't go to church here anymore. He's fallen away, backslidden, lapsed and prolapsed, relapsed, not right with the Lord. Not to be redundant or anything, but it just needs to be emphasized that his spiritual condition is lacking therein. Let's go inside. I want to show you where I was baptized.
Siren nods and coughs, reluctantly getting out of the car to follow Pearl.
Waiting for that asshole on his motorcycle.
After spending the better part of the day at the empty church, Pearl takes Siren back home and decides it's time for a little R&R. She directs Siren to the living room downstairs and has her sit on the 1990s green and brown Aztec pattern love seat in front of a big console TV. Pearl disappears into the kitchen.
No, they say don't put it in the microwave, but I want to see that jiffy. Oh. Pop it like my joints and veins. Oh. Like when I get up in the morning and say, oh. Popping like my ankle in the morning. Popping like my back when I roll out of bed. Oh, goodness.
Popcorn, 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 pop. Pearl returns from the kitchen, carrying bowls full of inverted corn kernels, or as the Indians call it, maize pop, that have been salted and covered with butter. Pearl presses play on an old VCR and a movie, already half over, streams across the television. Pearl joins Siren on the love seat and immediately experiences an hysterical laughing fit due to the movie's antics.
No. I see no, stupid. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
She nudges Siren in presumed commiseration. Siren's eyes are wide open, glued to the television. She's visibly being scandalized by the R-rated slasher flick she's viewing on the screen. She's got no popcorn left in her bowl from jumping up so many times and has a death grip on her quilt. Pearl begins yelling at an actress in the movie.
Spoiler alert, C-word. You're gonna be dead by the end of this film.
Suddenly, Pearl turns and smiles at Siren. Her mouth is smiling, but her eyes are not. After what seems an eternity, the movie ends and the credits roll. Siren sits frozen and afraid, but relieved that it's finally over. Although the movie has finished, Pearl hasn't reacted. Siren looks at Pearl and she's just staring blankly at the TV, kind of mentally checked out. Siren gently nudges her arm
Pearl?
and then Pearl buoyantly leaps up from the couch with an apparent second wind.
And now it's time for the sequel.